Hey everyone, today we've got a great question from a viewer. I'm going to call him Bob. I don't know what the name is, but if you have a question you'd like me to tackle, feel free to drop it in the comments and I'll try to cover it in a future video. Hey, before we dive in, for those of you who don't know me, I'm Steve, a retired search and rescue pilot, consumer debt expert and investigative journalist. I've spent decades helping good folks get out of bad debt and navigate tricky financial situations, just like Bob's. So if you're new here, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe, and tap the notification bell so you never miss out on answers. I've got tons of valuable content on debt, finances, and navigating life's challenges, so stay tuned. All right, so here's Bob's situation. Bob says, I have a 2020 Impala that I bought with 47,000 miles and I extended the warranty to 87,000 miles. Now the transmission is going out at 100,000 miles. My thoughts are to finance a second car and voluntarily repossess the Impala. All I've been doing is paying interest and I probably still owe 25 grand on it. I haven't called the lender yet and the dealership said their hands are tied. All right, Bob, you're in a tough spot. But let's break it down. You've got options, and repossession doesn't have to be your only way out. Let's talk about what you can do and how to handle this in a way that protects you financially and keeps your credit intact. So stick around. I'll walk you through how to approach your lender, how to decide if fixing the car is better, and what to do if you hit a roadblock. First things first, Bob. Before you make any big decisions, call your lender. I know it's tempting to walk away from the Impala, but talking to them might open up some solutions you didn't know were possible. Here's what you can say to start the conversation. Hi, my name is Bob, and I've been making payments on a 2020 Chevy Impala. My loan account number is blank. I'm calling because my car's transmission just went out at 100,000 miles, and I'm struggling to figure out how I can afford to repair the car while continuing to make my payments. I owe about 25 grand on the loan, and I wanted to see what options we might have to modify the loan or adjust my payments. This sets the stage for an honest conversation. Your lender might offer to modify the loan, defer your payments, or even refinance the loan to give you some relief while you handle the repair. But what if they don't? Well, I've got a backup plan for you. Not all lenders are created equal, and sometimes the person you talk to just isn't that helpful. Here's a little secret. If they're not willing to work with you, politely end the call. Call back later. Say something like, hey, thanks for your time. I'll give this some more thought and I'll call back later, and then hang up. Give it a little bit of time. Dial again. More often than not, you'll get someone else who's in a better mood or more open to helping. Persistence and friendliness is key, and calling back can sometimes make all the difference. When you do get someone helpful on the phone, here are the options you should bring up. Number 1. Loan modification. Hey, could we adjust the loan terms to help me get through this? Maybe lower the monthly payments or reduce the interest rate temporarily until I can fix the transmission. Number 2, deferment or forbearance. Is it possible to defer my payments for a few months while I handle the repair? Once the car is fixed, I'll go back to my regular payments. Number 3, refinancing. Hey, can I refinance the loan to extend the term or reduce my interest rate? I want to stay current, but need some flexibility while I deal with this repair. So if you've tried everything and the lender just won't help, don't throw in the towel yet. You could fix the Impala instead of walking away and taking the credit hit that comes with that. Here's what you'd be looking at in terms of costs from my research. A new transmission would be $3,500 to $6,500. A used transmission, $2 grand to $4,500. Yeah, it's a hefty sum. But fixing the car could be way cheaper than letting it get repossessed. With repossession, your credit will take a hit, and you could still owe a deficiency balance if the car sells for less than what you owe, which it most likely will. Now, let's say you let the lender repossess the Impala. Well, here's the catch. I think it's safe to assume that your car won't sell at auction for more than about $5,000. That would leave you owing $20,000 or more. And trust me, the lender isn't just going to forget about that. They'll likely sue you for the remaining balance, and that could lead to a wage garnishment or other legal action. In other words, you're going to end up paying for the negative equity one way or another. Now, if you're feeling like none of these options work and the financial stress is just mounting, there's one more route to consider. A Chapter 7 bankruptcy. This is the nuclear option, but it's an option nonetheless. Here's how it would work. You let the lender repossess the car, and then you file a Chapter 7 bankruptcy, which could eliminate all your debt and the deficiency on the car and give you a fresh start. The bankruptcy itself will cost you between $2,000 and $3,000, which, when you think about it, might be cheaper than replacing or fixing the transmission. However, bankruptcy is a big decision and comes with its own consequences. Now, while bankruptcy will show up on your credit report for 10 years for a Chapter 7, it's actually much easier than most people think to rebuild your credit quickly. You won't be stuck with bad credit forever. People often start rebuilding their credit the day after their discharge. And small lines of new credit or secured credit cards will boost your credit score immediately. There's more to think about here, like your age, how quickly you need to get back to saving money. And if you're trying to eliminate other debts as well, bankruptcy is not for everyone, but it's something to consider if you're feeling completely stuck. And if you're still not sure what the best path is and you want to talk to someone who can help you figure it out, I'd suggest reaching out to my friend Damon Day at DAMONDAY.com. He's a debt coach who's helped a lot of people, and I've mentored him for years. He'll walk you through your options in a way that makes sense for you. So let's do a quick comparison. Fixing the transmission, $2,000 to $6,500 up front, but you can keep the car and avoid wrecking your credit. You'll have a car you can continue to drive. Voluntary repo, a hit to your credit for 7 years, a likely $20,000 balance after the sale, potential lawsuits, wage garnishment, and future financing challenges. A Chapter 7 bankruptcy, $2,000 to $3,000 in legal fees, elimination of debt, and though your credit takes a hit, you can start rebuilding your credit almost instantly if you manage it properly. Now, here are some common questions everyone asks me in these situations. What happens if the lender refuses all of my requests? Well, if they refuse to help, fixing the transmission is probably your best bet. It could be cheaper than dealing with repossession and the damage to your credit. Will my credit score really be impacted that much by a voluntary repossession? Well, yeah. A voluntary repossession will stay on your credit report for 7 years or so, and it can significantly lower your score, and financing anything in the future will be harder and more expensive. Is bankruptcy the right option for me? Well, Bob, it depends on your situation. If you have other debts and need a fresh start, Chapter 7 bankruptcy might be worth considering. However, it will impact your credit, but you can rebuild your credit quickly if you manage it responsibly. And Bob and anyone else in a similar situation, you've got more control than it feels like. Whether your lender works with you or you decide to fix the transmission, you're the one steering the outcome. Stay calm, be persistent, and keep exploring your options until you find one that works best for you. If your lender doesn't help the first time, remember, call back and try again. Don't be afraid to be friendly and persistent. It could save you from a financial headache down the road. And remember, fixing the car might seem like a big cost up front, but it could save you thousands in credit damage, deficiency balances, and lawsuits. If you're really stuck and need more guidance, reach out to Damon Day for some personalized help. He's great at helping people navigate these tough decisions. If anyone else out there has a question, hey, and you want me to try to tackle it for you, drop it in the comments below. And hey, watch this video next. See ya.